So we said that since we are assuming that Ziwaco operates in the same industry as Limaco, then using Ziwaco's ungeared cost of equity will represent the same business risks as Limaco. And so since Limaco plans to pay off all its debts to redeem both the 16% and the 13% bond, then the ungeared cost of equity will be a proper representation of Limaco's business risk, and in essence, the appropriate discount rate to use to discount the cash flows that will be generated from its future project. So that was our discussion about the cost of capital in our Appendix 1. And so we moved to Appendix 2. And then in the second part of the question, it asked us for the valuation of Lima without the Barry project. And we went through our free cash flow methodology, and we are able to compute the value of Limaco by considering all the information that they are giving us in the section that pertain to it. And we're able to get the value of Limaco at $568.23 million. And then we now did the valuation of the Barry project, and we said that the base case NPV was negative, but that when we added the financing side effects, the total APV was now positive at 21.66, and so the value of Limaco with the Barry project now increased from $568.23 million to $589.89 million. And then if we want to consider that, we can also appreciate that so since
can you go back?
Where?
I go back to your the Appendix 3, just 2 minutes, yeah, or less than a minute. All right, that's fine.
Are you fine now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I can move forward.
Okay, so since the company wants to issue 100 million shares, right? So if we remember what we read yesterday, the company intends to issue 100 million shares, and the 100 million shares were supposed to be at, these 100 million shares, you wanted to give how many percent to the general public?
20%.
20%. And so the suggestion that it should issue the shares at a discount to entice bondholders is something that we should consider, or to entice the general public, because it was issuing those shares at it was issuing only a small portion of the company. So that's one thing I want us to consider in the discussion about valuation. So since Limaco intends to issue only 10% to the public and 20%.
Issuing 20% to the public.
Is it 20% to the public?
Yes.
20% to the public.
And 10% to current bondholders, Abi?
So unsecured.
Secured.
To the, what's that now, 13%?
Unsecured bond.
unsecured bondholders. The suggestion to issue at a discount of how much was that? A discount of 20%, right?
Yes.
So that will be relevant. So therefore, we can say that the value of the 100 million proposed shares would be between 80% of the value with the Barry project and the whole 100%. So we'll have a number of possible values. So we can look at the 4 possible values. So we can even make a table of it. So with the Barry project, without discount, with discount. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? So we can look without discount. And then with discount. So so the first one, without the Barry project, if we go back to our computation, without the Barry project, our value was this amount. Then that amount divided by 100 million. Wonderful. So 5.68 dollars per share. Then if we had the discount, then that would be 1 minus T. So that would be that amount. So with the discount will be equal to 80% of that amount.
%80 of what?
80% of the value per share of the original of the amount without discount.
I'm sorry, Brian, but it was not the whole of them. That it's not the whole.
You said it was not what?
I'll call you back. I'm doing
Sorry,
online class.
is the one that is offered to the public that they gave 20% discount, right?
So we're just looking at what are the possible. Remember, they asked us for a business valuation, and with the business valuation, what you usually need to see is a range of possible values. So if to the one they want to give to the general public, they might want to issue to the general public. So with the Barry project, the figure will now be, so our per share price will now be that figure divided by the 100 million. So that per share and then if we're not taking the discount, or if with the discount, it will now be 80% of that figure. So these are the 4 possible ranges. So my comment is that since the bondholders, or particularly the public and bondholders will be given a relatively small share in the company, there could be a consideration of issuing to them at a discount Okay, now let's do our equity debt swap. That's our final appendix.
We're not done with that page.
You said?
We've not finished
We've not finished what?
writing.
Oh, writing. Okay, sorry, I didn't hear you.
Copying.
Okay.
Copying.
Okay, so